Hey, good morning. Good morning from Los Angeles. Pretty good day actually. Welcome to Trading with Sergio every Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and coming up on Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Power Hour, and today at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, members only live. So good morning. Mixed markets really. So there was a little bit of a sell-off that started yesterday, and it's kind of trying. The Bears are trying to push it, but doesn't seem like there's a lot of force behind it. And we'll see. I'm positioned quite well with everything I'm doing. I'm trying to not touch. Actually, I'm adding to some positions. I'll go through it in a minute. We have important PCE numbers coming out this week, and well, on Friday. I think that's going to be important. There was a hint in what Jay Powell said yesterday. So let's talk a little bit about what Jay Powell said in his speech. He said stagflation about 5 times without saying stagflation. And what's the cure for it? There's no cure for it. You just got to work itself out. All the signs are there. If the PCE is really hot this week, I think we will get a sell-off. Seasonally, September, October, as we all know, most of the trouble happens in that, and then we're clear with the Santa Claus rally to the end of the year. I cannot believe I'm saying to the end of the year. The year end is about what, 1/4 away. I mean, we're on the 24th. Amazing. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. So what else is going on? Yeah, during Jay Powell's speech yesterday, he did hint on inflation being hotter than it is not meeting their mandate. Also, he talked about unemployment, and I think he did say that, but to me, which Fed chief has not said that? Although with a delay, if you guys remember, Alan Greenspan, his famous irrational exuberance comment. And although the bull run continued about 6-8 months, and after that we had the 2000.com bubble. So he said stocks are, I think, something like more than fairly priced or something like that. Jay Powell did yesterday. And you got to listen to what the Fed is saying. Every indicator, long-term, short-term, is not positive. The underlying currents, the advanced decline line hasn't made a new high while the market's making a new high. The summation index is actually selling off while coming down to the zero line. When we do go under zero line, bad things happen on the summation index. VIX is rallying without the market really going. Actually, VIX has rallied or did rally pretty much every day when the market was making all-time highs, so that's never a good sign. But that could be because VIX doesn't have to go up only when the market goes down, although it is a pretty decent inverse indicator, still low at 17 or 16 and a half levels. And VIX also can go up because too many people are buying calls. And I'm looking at the put call ratio, equity put call ratio. We're down to like 0.61, which is, you got to take the other side, meaning you got to sell calls, buy puts. If you don't have to buy puts, at least sell some calls on your open positions. That means everybody and their uncle are buying calls. And we know what's happening with the rocket ship parabolic stocks with, to me, they're not worth the paper they're printed on, especially valuation levels. We'll talk about that. Actually, I put a really popular video out Monday, about how to treat parabolics and how they work out, how they end. Please go watch it. It's a short video. It's like a 3-4 minute video. Parabolics don't end well. So I'm involved in one. I started shorting one of them yesterday and today. You don't know where they're going to end, but when they do end, they end with a bang. But then if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you need to really, really watch your size. I mean, I can put on a lot larger size than I have, but I'm not going to. It's just then going, stepping here and there on the short side. So when I say short, I short stocks, and it's just like buying a stock, right? So a lot of people kind of have a difficult time grasping the concept, which is, so when we're buying a stock, obviously we buy it at 1, try to sell it at 2, right? Well, when you're shorting a stock, you sell it at 2 and buy it back at 1. A lot of people ask me, like, how do you sell something you don't have? Well, it happens by borrowing, right? You borrow from long-term holders, and the companies make money. Actually, the people who are holding these shares make money. If there is a fee for it, obviously, if there is hard to short, hard to borrow. So you borrow the share, sell it. It shows as a negative next to it, meaning you're short the shares, and then you can do many things with it. You can sell puts against it, create a covered put position, just like a covered call position, which I'm doing again today. So I'll go through the positions in a minute. So I do have a members group on Telegram, and we have our own Telegram chat group. If you want to join, please click join. Send me an email, sergio@sergioavedian.com. I'll send you the Telegram chat group link. Number 2, excuse me, by the end of this week, I should have my brand spanking new website up. It'll be under sergioavedian.com. It'll have a free weekly newsletter. It'll have webinars. It'll have a lot of things in it. So I think it's going to come out great. My goal in all of this, when I started this channel about a year ago, by the way, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe on YouTube and turn on notifications so you get notifications when I'm doing something or posting something. The reason I started the channel was just pay it forward, education, information. FYI, none of this is trading, investing, or financial advice. What I do is very risky, but my account size allows me to do it because there will be drawdowns. And not only do you have to be able to withstand the drawdowns, but the positions you're putting on are risky positions, right? We're dealing with options. We're dealing with naked calls, puts, things, strangles, all kinds of things. And as we know, stocks move. I mean, there have been some massive melt-ups over the last week or so in a bunch of stocks. And if you get caught on the wrong side of it, you're going to get your face ripped off. But I size correctly, and I don't allocate more than 12 to 15% of the account value into single position. I am at the moment probably 75% cash, but then I've figured out to put on decent sized positions actually with equity efficiency. So define downside risk trades and things like that. So what else? No, let's see. Yeah. Oh, let me post the link. If anybody wants to come on, please grab the link and come on. I'm going to go about maybe 45 minutes to an hour today. I have a previous engagement that I have to be at noon, so I have to get ready for that. And here's the link of StreamYard. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome to. And we're going to discuss about anything, obviously, finance, macro, and interest rates, and whatever it is. Funny thing happened with interest rates. Since the Fed lowered the rates by 25 basis points, the mortgage rates have gone up because the long bond, the 20-year, has gone up. There is really mixed signals. Like crypto, it looks like it's taken a break. It actually had a decent correction on ETH and BTC and Solana as well. So those are the 3 I watch. I don't watch really any other altcoins or shitcoins. I'm not interested in it. I do DCA Bitcoin every Monday morning. So it seems like they're taking a breather, and I put out a lot of good content on MNAV, multiple to net asset value, on BMNR and SBET, and all these crypto treasury asset companies. I'm involved in a bunch of them at the moment in positions. So when I go to the positions, I'll explain it. And as far as stocks are concerned, look, I think a lot of stocks are mispriced. I think their valuations are out of control, ridiculous. I'll get to a few charts and put up some parabolics, and I can't get involved. I mean, if you're long, all power to you. But at this level, I just can't get involved. And there is a thesis out there that, quantum computing is having its week, or 2 weeks actually. Power generators for the AI data centers are having their week. Market's rotating, but then, they're pushing the valuations on these companies to levels which literally don't even have revenue. Forget earnings. Earnings are not going to show up for years. And at these levels, I can't touch them on the long side. I just can't. I can't make myself do it. So, but to each their own. Everybody does what they do. So with that said, good morning, Traveler, SJ, Ernesto, Doug. Good morning, everyone. And what else was I going to say? Let's see. Oh, one advice. Again, none of it is trading, financial investment advice, but one advice is a lot of traders. Well, I'm a swing trader, so I do pay attention to macro quite a bit. You can't trade macro because it takes a long time for it to take place, right? Plus, most macro is lagging. Lagging news, obviously, they're telling you what happened last month, and but I would highly recommend to go to Fred if you want to start learning about this stuff. You're going to say, well, yeah, I'm YOLOing into calls, YOLOing into puts, doing this, doing that. What am I supposed? Why should I pay any attention to macro? You don't have to. But I think to have an idea of the overall picture of the general health of the economy, one must really pay attention to these things because, look, when market goes down, every stock will go down. And if you're dealing with high beta stocks, you're going to get smashed like it happened in April. So again, it's not about timing the market, but just to understand the underlying strength of the economy. So go to Fred, FRED, Federal Reserve Economic Data, all the data you want from mortgages, delinquencies, credit card delinquencies, auto loans, delinquencies, obviously, levels of credit card debt. All of it is there. They put out amazing information and start learning about it. Start reading the tea leaves because it is important. I think, especially now, it's important because I think we're at such a crossroads here that so with any and every indicator, Case-Shiller index, it's just about where it was at the dot-com bubble. Warren Buffett indicator at an all-time high. It's never been this high. Meaning, if you guys don't know what Case-Shiller and Warren Buffett indicator is, Warren Buffett indicator is total market capitalization divided by GDP. We're at 220%. It's never been this high, right? I mean, the baseline, by the way, the mean or baseline, if you want to call it, is about 120, I think, or 80, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there are charts on Google that you can go figure out. And same thing with the Case-Shiller index. That's flashing bright red alarms. So that's why I'm saying you should go pay attention to macro because, the market's priced for perfection. The market is priced for economy is not going to slow down and we're going to keep going higher. I do get the point that another thing that you can follow, you should follow, is the Fed's balance sheet. They've been reducing the balance sheet. But on the other hand, global M2 just made a new all-time high. That's why I'm kind of conflicted that why isn't Bitcoin following? Because with a little bit of a lag, global M2 making all-time highs, it's good for the markets because that means there's a lot of money in the system. They keep printing and putting money into the system. That money has to chase return. Where does it go? It goes into hard assets. It goes into stocks. Doesn't go into bonds as much because bonds are reading inflation. It goes into stocks. It goes into gold. We know what's going on there. It goes into crypto. It goes into all these things. So pay attention to macro, especially now, because if the economy is really slowing down, you can tell, by the way, there's a lot of stress signals on Fred. For example, prime and subprime auto loan delinquencies are through the roof. Prime and subprime credit card delinquencies are through the roof. Credit card balances are at an all-time high. So there are signals that the consumer is struggling. And the important thing with all this is, why should you pay attention to macro? That's because 75% of our GDP or higher is consumer spending in this country. If the consumer is struggling and they don't start spending, they don't keep spending, and Christmas season is coming up, which is the biggest season for retailers, you need to really pay attention to all these signals. If the consumer pulls back just a little bit, every market is overpriced by a wide margin. So the stock market is not caring. The stock market says, we're just going to keep making all-time highs because now the Fed is in a cutting cycle. And then I put a couple of good videos about that. Why is the Fed cutting? Right? When all asset classes are at an all-time high, why is the Fed cutting? They usually don't cut when things are great. They actually increase rates when things are great to slow the economy down so inflation doesn't heat up. But then now they're cutting, and they're supposed to cut 2 more times this year and 3 more times next year. So we're looking at much lower interest rates. Okay, there's a saying, don't fight the Fed. I get that. But why is the Fed cutting? Is the economy slowing down to the point that they go like, okay, they have to preempt it and cut it so we can create a soft landing type of a situation? The worst the market is thinking is a soft landing. And even if that's the case, the market will sell off at least 15% here. But we'll see. We'll find out. The market's the market. What the price is in front of you, whatever you see is what you get. And you have to trade that. Investing is something different. You should definitely have an investment account. Don't mix business with pleasure. I always say that to my members. Try to go for long-term capital gains because their tax treatment is a lot different than short-term gains, because everything we do with options or trading stocks or whatever is all short-term. So short-term cap gains are a lot higher than long-term cap gains. You're saving almost 50% for yourself. So, buy stocks, accumulate stocks, DCA into things that you believe in for long term. And I'm going to finish this part and then go to positions. There is a saying that my mentors kept pounding into me. There's many that I never forgot. So I'll pass it on. Time spent in the markets is a lot better or more beneficial than time spent timing the market. There's a lot of furus and gurus out there. Oh, I bought it here and I sold it there. I bought it here. I'm like, well, where is it? Show me your account, right? I think I'm the only YouTuber. I don't want to call myself a YouTuber. I'm the only person with a YouTube channel that literally posts their positions, open positions every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the community page. Wins, gains, losses, doesn't make a difference. Again, none of it is trading, financial, or investment advice. If you're going to follow me, follow at your own risk, do your own due diligence. But if you're so good, if you buy every bottom and if you sell every top, you're that good in timing, I should give you my money. So my point in all of this is post it. Oh, you have an account? Everybody has an account, right? Robinhood account. Because all I see on X and all I see on YouTube is I made this much money. I made that much money. Where are your losses? Are you betting 100%? I doubt it. So to me, posting in a Robinhood account with $1 million in it that says up 300% today means nothing to me. That could be Photoshop. That could be anything. Post your account with open positions, your size, if it's an equity or an option or whatever it is. And I do it. I have nothing to hide. I don't care. So if you're interested in that, you can visit the community page of the YouTube channel and look at it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But then sometimes when I'm swing trading, I get in one thing and get out the next day. By the time you get it on Wednesday, there may be a little bit of a lag or a delay. But the members get it at the end of each day, and members also get trades live, meaning as soon as I execute a trade, I post my positions on the members Telegram chat group. So that's one advantage that they have. Not that they need to follow it or do anything else, but to members who know who they are, congrats to everyone who was holding shares or option positions in Lithium America, up 100% almost today. And I was long. I think I was long 8 or 10,000 shares of it with cover calls. I got out even, and then, but that was a while ago, maybe about a month ago. And then it struggled. And then last night there was an announcement that Trump administration may be taking a position like they did with Intel, and stock doubled. So congrats to everyone. Hopefully you didn't have cover calls, because cover calls are a disease. You're trying to pinch pennies in front of a bulldozer, as my mentors used to say. You don't want to sell cover calls. You just don't. It's going to cost you so much money. No more than that, it's going to cost you a lot of mental grief, because you're going to keep looking at that stock that you got called away 100% ago, and you're going to say, oh my God, I wish I had it. Well, yeah. So if you're committing to something, buy the shares, bro, and hold it, right? There are a lot of people that do that. So, all right, let me go to positions. Let's see what's going on. Hope you guys can see this. Yes, I think so. All right, what are we doing today? We are, one of my shorts is melting up, literally. Well, we'll short some more. That's why you size correctly. That's why you size correctly, folks. You don't mess with that stuff. What's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum? One of my longs is melting up too, so I'm okay with it. Okay. Let's see what's going on with crypto. Not much, actually. BTC is up 1%, about 114, 113.8. Ethereum unchanged, 41.80. Solana down about almost 2% at 214. So they're all correcting, actually, but we'll see. All right. So what do we have? Let's start with up top. This is a Solana Treasury Asset Company. DFDV, DeFi Development Corp. I'm trying to do all of these at less than 1 MNAV, right? So this one is right about 0.88. So anytime I see MNAV under 1, I do it. And what did I do on this one? So stock is 1572, up about 60 cents. Yesterday and the day before, I put on 40. I do 5s and 10s at a time. I put on 40 put credit spreads expiring in October, about 28 days. I sold the 15 puts, bought the 12.5 puts. Defined risk trade, obviously, my max loss is 2.5 going in already. So as far as costs are concerned, my puts, I sold the puts at 180 on average, 40 of them. I actually added it to today when they were down, when the stock was down, obviously. And then I bought the puts at 67 cents. So I'm right about the $1.20 range. So $1.20 credit. So my max loss is 2.5, $1.20. So my max loss on this is going to be $1.30, but we're looking for data decay on this position. And next one is a synthetic on MSTU, which is the 2x ETF of MSTR. So on that one, I'm short December now, going out to December, short the December 5 puts at $1.14. They're right about there, $1.15. And then with that money, I turned around and bought a call debit spread. I bought the 5s, I bought the December 5 calls, and sold the December 10 calls. So basically, equity efficiency, meaning I spent whatever I took in on the short puts on the call side, on the call debit spread side. So I'm not putting any money out of pocket. There is definitely requirements on this, obviously. So basically, I'm bullish on MSTU, meaning I'm bullish on BTC. Long story short, I sold the puts at $1.15. They're exactly $1.15. I bought the calls at $1.03. They're about $1. And I sold the puts at 25 cents. They're at 25 cents. So that's that. Here is my first short, one of these parabolics. It's up to 33.50, which I'm going to go short a little bit more shares here. See, I'm short 1,000 shares of Rigetti Computing. We'll look at the charts. It's ridiculousness at the moment. Here's a literally $10 billion company with no revenue. So, okay, cool. It got up as high as 34. So I started shorting 100 shares at a time. My average cost is 31. Stock is 33.30. So I'm down a couple $1,000. But at the same time, I went and sold weekly expiring 27.5 puts at 56 cents. They're down to about 30 cents. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to add. So now I'm not even doing 100 shares anymore. I'm doing 50 shares now because, my account can do 5,000 shares, but I'm not going to, because this could go to 40 before it dies. I don't need the headache. Although I do think it's going to come down. I don't want to mess with having, 5,000 shares of a stock that's up 10 points on me. I don't want to lose 50 grand or whatever. But parabolics don't end well. I put a video out yesterday, so please go check that on Monday. Go check that out. So I'm going to short another 50 shares. Yeah, I don't want to even do 100 shares. 50 shares at 33.43. 33.42, let's say. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to do another 50 shares. At 33. So then we'll be up to 1,100 shares, 33.82. Every 40, 50 cents, I'll keep shorting 50 shares. And we have a sell order on the put. So you're going to say, well, what's the point of doing that? Well, if I'm doing the 27.5 puts at 6 points away. If the stock drops by Friday to 27.5, I get a sign. I close my short position that way. I have 2 more puts that I need to sell at 40 cents. They're about 25 cents, actually. I'm going to cancel that order. We got the shorts out. We'll short another 100 shares. So next position is SBET, which is the Treasury Asset Company for ETH, just like BMNR is. And so what do I have? I have 1,500 shares. That's average cost 17.04. Stock is 17.76. I have 60 put credit spreads. I'm short the 15 puts, long the 12.5 puts with that. We just shorted 50 more shares. I'm short the 15, 12.5 put credit spread. My cost is about $1.25. Again, defined downside risk. So my max loss is 2.5, but I took in 125. So my max loss is going to be 125. But on the other hand, I'm long 10 January. This goes out to January, by the way. All of them are. I'm long 10 January 15 calls. My cost is 475. They're about 510. And I'm short 25 of the January 25 calls. Stock is 1780, folks. Short 25 of those. So basically the put credit spread money that I took in, right? I mean, it's a long way to go, obviously, but I'm bullish on Ethereum, just like Tom Lee is. And I did this trade, by the way. This trade is up about a couple of grand. I did this trade when MNAV dropped to 0.87, 0.88 on SBET. So basically, the 25 short calls at 25, and those I sold almost at $2. So meaning I have put plenty of upside with very limited downside. So because I don't know what ETH is going to be. ETH could correct to 3,500 because before it goes to 8,000 maybe. I don't know. But that's why you put on defined risk trades and you give yourself time. So this position is set. I'm not going to touch it. I may add to it on the upside at some point by buying more shares or buying more calls. And I will, of course, automatically go sell the 25s. So basically it's sort of a synthetic, but not with symmetry. And yeah, that's what I have. here's the position that's going to give me trouble just to get out. I am on the right side. I'm up about $6,000 on this position. So Semler Scientific, which happens to own a business, testing business, basically blood testing business, and it's worth something. But what they did is about a year ago, they went and bought about 5,100 BTC at a much lower price. So I was looking at this, the other day, and I've created my thesis with facts. So their BTC holdings at 114 or 116, where one BTC a couple of days ago was about $580 million, meaning net asset value. I'm not even considering the business. Business is worth something, obviously. And the market capitalization was about 430 million. So I'm like, okay, why don't I do that? Treat this like SBAT, let's say, or BMNR. And I was like, okay, let's put it on. So what did I do? I did a same thing again, define risk downside, because I don't know where things can go. I'm always looking out to get about 4-to-1, 5-to-1 on these trades with plenty of upside. So what did I do? I sold December 30 puts. I sold them at $4.98 or $5, let's say, and I bought the 25 puts. Same size, same number, by the way. This is completely symmetrical, symmetrical synthetic, as they say. So I bought the puts at 240. So I had a credit of about $2.60. So with that credit, I went and bought a call debit spread. I bought the 30 calls and sold the 40 calls. And then, to my surprise, Monday morning, there's a company called ASST. ASST offered to buy Semler Scientific for stock. So ASST stock was at 4 at the time, and they offered them 21 shares per Semler stock. So 4 times just where it was, 4 times 21 is $82. And then, but Semler still is about 33.5. Well, you're going to say, why is that? Well, that's because there is arbitrage here happening, and there is risk that the deal doesn't close, BTC goes down, or the buyer has to dilute and issue shares to give it to Semler shareholders. Yeah, that stock can go down, and sure enough, the arbitrage is working out perfectly, whoever did the arbitrage. So basically, you should have bought Semler and shorted ASST. Because since then, ASST has dropped from 4 to 3, and Semler actually has kept its stuff together. So basically, at this price, at the moment, ASST is at 3. 3 times 21 is 62. Still massive, massive arbitrage possibility here. I don't know when the deal is going to close, when they announce when the closing happens, because at the moment, the market at 33.5 is pricing ASST at just about $1.50. And that's where ASST did their PIPE, actually. If you don't know what PIPE is, please go Google it. It's called Private Investment in Public, public equity. ASST's one of the board members is Vivek Ramaswamy, the presidential candidate, and he's looking into also monetizing Semler Scientific's medical business. And he was in the biotech business. He had established a company, sold it. Successful person, obviously. So I'm stuck. But what the market makers are doing now is that they're pricing these options in such weird fashion that I can't get out now, because the spreads are like, okay, for example, the I'm not complaining. Potentially, this is with a short put credit spread and long call debit spread, this is like a $40,000 position if everything turns out well. Even with a cap at 40, actually Semler at the moment with ASST being at 3 is worth 62. So it's almost a double from here. At some point, I will figure that out. But what's going to happen is that they're going to give me ASST shares. They're going to give me 21 ASST shares. Well, now then I have to exercise all these 4 positions, especially on the call side, right? Because I want to own the share so I can get 21 ASST shares for it. But then I'm short the 40 calls and the spreads on these things gone wild. For example, the short puts that I sold the 30 puts at 498. It's 250 bid, 450 offer. When I did the transaction, obviously it wasn't like that, right? But what I'm hoping for is that over time, we just sold 50 more shares. Rigetti, it's melting up, folks. So this is the you got to have the patience, and you got to have the money, and you got to have the, Okay, so we'll sell some more puts on this. Take 30 more cents in. You got to have the patience, and look, this could go to 40 before I know. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm doing 50 shares at a time as opposed to anything else. Okay, so now we're covered. When I say we're covered, so now I'm short 1,100 shares at 31.22. Today's low is 29.71. High is 34. Wow, that's just crazy. And now I'm short 11 puts at a cost of 50 cents, expiring on Friday. This Friday, 2 days from now. So you're going to say, why are you doing that? Well, those are the 27.5 puts. So they're going to expire worthless. Stock is 33 and 74. So when they expire worthless, what happens? My cost basis goes up 50 cents. And I'll do it again the next weekly options. And when it does happen, if the stock drops, at some point it will, I will get assigned the shares and I'll close the short position. Back to Semler Scientific, 250, 450. I can't get in, I can't get out. But I'm hoping once the deal gets closer to closing, these options will get back to normal. It's going to be an interesting situation, to say the least. So we'll see. Even now, there's a good arbitrage possibility. So if you want to do the arbitrage, you buy Semler here, and the same dollar amount, you go sell ASST. Short, not sell. Short, ASST. Now, ASST could be very difficult to short. And if you actually had done that the day they announced, when ASST was at 4, if you had done the arbitrage, Semler is actually exactly where the price was when they announced the deal, but then ASST is down 30% from there. So Semler's price is saying that ASST is going to be $1.50 when this deal is closing. We'll find out. If it is, I still have no loss. I'll exercise my shares. My put credit spread will expire worthless. I won't make 40 grand, but I'll probably make about 12, 15 grand. So we'll see. And last but not least, I was long for hedging purposes only, obviously. I was long 50 UPRO, which is the 3X ETF of SPY. I was long the puts for hedging purposes. I paid about 310 for it. I sold some at 3 today, but then I wasn't a put debit spread. I had bought the puts back when the market was making new highs. You guys can go see that in the position screen. I mean, I don't want to explain it all, but now I'm long 30 instead of 50. I sold some this morning because I had sold weekly puts against this position, and I also started it as a put debit spread. When the market was making all-time highs, I closed the short leg with about 50% gain. So actually, overall, I think I'm profitable on this position as well. So, yeah, that's where we are. Rigetti is going to be a headache, probably, but we'll have to see. I mean, I'm hoping it drops. I'm not too far, really. I mean, well, actually, I'm pretty far. I'm like 2 points away. But 2 points on these stocks is like nothing. So I will short another 50 shares. About 30, let's say 34.5 range. And then I'll short another 50 shares, about 35. We'll just keep adding shorting shares. That's what we'll do. Let's go to the front. Let's see if there's questions. All right. Good morning, Sergio. I just got an email. Yeah, this is not the place for that. Sergio, do you know anything about Ramazani's background, the corporate deals, e.g.? Yeah, he's pretty good at it. He's actually had a biotech company that he started and then merged with another company or sold. He's in the biotech business, and he's going to try to monetize Semler's. Let me put it to you this way. I think Vivek his track record is a little bit better than Chamat's track record with, with those, well, I'm not going to call it scam, but they're SPACs, right? So you guys, you know how many of those came at 10 and went to nothing. But yeah, those are the positions. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to say goodbye. I'll be back on Friday with Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. At 4:30 today, I'll have a members-only live. Look, you know, we're trading. Positions are positions. Yeah, positions are positions. I can't, you know, I said it. I don't forget it. I don't set it and forget it. Let me go back for real quick. I gotta move this out. Okay, so let's look at one last time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot, and I'll try to answer it. So there's one other position actually that I want to put on. I mean, everything I'm doing is exactly what I wanted to happen, so I have no complaints. I'm up pretty decent green today. I'm actually maybe 3% from an equity all-time high. So even if we pull back, I'm covered for it. I'm short stocks. I am long some puts. I have some. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at actually let's look at some charts. Spend some time that way. I want to look at a couple of different things. Actually, there's a trade that I want to put on. I wanted to put on, but let's see where it's at. So Solana. Obviously, we know it's a crypto. DFDV is the one I have, which is, let's go to the big chart. This is DFDV. So I have the put credit spread on, you know, put them on $10, $20 range. Max loss 2.5. So max loss is going to be about $20. If it's below 15 or I get assigned at 15, I'll take the shares. And then I can sell cover calls, do whatever. But I do like this position. But Solana has pulled back from about 260 down to about 210 range. You know, solid 25%. So the 2x ETF of Solana, it's up already. God, I wanted to do that. Okay, so here's Solana's 2x ETF. This came, you know, this is pretty new. It's been around since March. So I do like Solana about here, 210, 205, 210 range. And this moves perfectly with Solana, right? There's nothing to do. It's not a treasury asset company. It's a 2x ETF. So what I want to do on Solana, actually, you know what? Before I do that, let's go through the markets. And actually, let's go through the positions in the market. So this is SPY. I mean, there is a bearish divergence possibility with the MACD rolling over. We're not even close to our 20 EMA. And there's a channel. I don't like drawing lines, but this channel is valid. And then we're not even close to our 50 EMA. So I'm like, don't panic, folks. A couple of red days in a row, people start freaking out. I'm like, red day is not even a red day. It's like down 0.3%. VIX is curling up, so we need to pay attention to that, obviously. TLT. This is the bond market, folks. The bond market has done nothing but go up in interest rates. This TLT is an inverse indicator, by the way. And this is the dollar index. There you go. On its butt, down about 11% for the year. Although if the dollar is going to rally, the market's going to have major trouble here. So going back to the stocks, let's look at some nosebleeds and shit like that. One is Oklo, down about 3 today. But like, okay, this company is worth $21 billion. They do not have 1 penny of revenue. We're not talking earnings, folks. Revenue. This has been the thing for the last, you know, gamma squeezes going on, big short positions on these stocks. Same thing with Rigetti that I'm shorting now. I mean, incredible, right? We're at, where are we? 34, over 34 now. Okay, I'll short some more of this. Yeah, we're just gone bonkers now. So, you know, got to be patient. You know, you're going to say, why are you shorting things that are going up? What if it goes to 40? It could. That's why you size correctly, man. But then this is exactly what's going to happen here. Okay. Here's another company with market cap of $9 billion and revenue of nothing. We're not talking earnings, folks. We're talking revenue. It's in the melt-up phase. There's a lot of shorts in this. You know, if they cover, short squeeze, obviously. Everybody thinks, you know, GME is going to happen again. A couple of other ones. Hood, new all-time high. Palantir was lagging a little bit. I like AMD here. I'm going to get in. It's up 60 cents. It's just kind of before the next leg up. You know, I think with 2x ETF, I want to play that with AMDL. Micron, a little bit of a correction today. NVIDIA, still pretty close to all-time high. Triple Qs, A little bit of a sell-off last 2 days, but again, we're nowhere near the 20 EMA. I mean, we could pull back another 1.5%, 2% here, and we still won't be at 20 EMA. So to me, you know, these little garden variety corrections are nothing more than that. And so some more melt ups. Ion Q, another. Oh, that's up now. Another nosebleed quantum computing stock. Qubits. These are all shorts now. Take your pick and short that. Qubits is up another $1. Look, this game's going to end very badly for the longs, but when it ends, where it ends, nobody knows. And SanDisk, another one, although it's not quantum computing stock. Oh, actually, SanDisk getting smashed today. Okay. So the same thing is going to happen to all the other ones, all the quantum stocks. And but where it happens from, I don't know. That's why you just scale in, scale out, do the proper thing. But I do want to be short. I really do. Rigetti, 34. Yeah, we need to short another 50 shares of this. Short another, maybe we'll just stop another 100 shares and that's it. 34. That's a good number. Okay, so 50 more shares there, and yeah, that looks good. SPAT 18, the other one's 33.5. Yeah, I don't see, you know, puts are puts. I'll sell some more puts if we do tank. I put it at 34 where? 34. Yeah, that's about right. The 34.40 high, and I'll short another 50 shares. That short didn't go through. We'll probably rally. Gotta be patient with these shorts, man. Gotta be nimble and you gotta be patient because a lot of short covering is going on now. When the shorts run out of ammunition, meaning they're done covering, the other side of the mountain is going to be as steep, folks. Anyway, so that's where Rigetti is at. You know, a lot of melt ups are going on. IREN is melting up again. Look at these things. Look at these parabolic moves. I mean, look, NBIS, same thing. None of these companies have much to talk about. Now, again, price takes precedence. The price in front of you is the price in front of you. You can make all the excuses, create all the biases. Oh, fundamentally is this, fundamentally is that. None of it matters. The stock is here. That's it. You can argue with it until you're blue in the face and you're broke. There's not much you can do about it. But I am okay shorting Rigetti here. I am going to be okay shorting IONC. Yeah, definitely. I will go short. Or, you know, buying puts on these things, by the way. You're going to say, why are you shorting? Why don't you buy puts? It's really tough to buy puts when IV is 200-300% on these things. And that's what the market makers have done. So even when the stock goes down, you may not make money. My suggestion is if you're going to go buy puts, don't buy out of the money puts. When the stock goes down, they will not go up, actually. What I would highly recommend, buy in the money puts, you know, high delta, lower IV, obviously, the closer to, or at the money puts. I wouldn't recommend buying out of the money puts on these. So, or put some debit spreads on and things like that. So next one should be QBTS, I guess we're shorting, or what else was there? QUBT. QUBT is actually down $1 today. Oklo, same thing. This is ridiculousness. I mean, that's what's happening. Yeah, so these will end. When they end, it will end, but gotta be patient with it. That's why I sell the puts. I'll take in money while I'm waiting a couple days here, a couple days there, increasing my cost basis. It's just the opposite. Short the stock and short the put. That's what we need to do. That's what I'm doing. That's what I did. So all my short shares are covered for. If Rigetti by Friday, which could be this 27.5 or below, I will get assigned 1,100 shares at 27.5. But my cost is 31.5. That's 4 points. That's 5 points. That's like a $6,000 trade in a couple of days. If it goes down, if it goes higher, we lose money. We lose more money. We're already losing money. Yeah, 33.88. So we'll see where it closes today. The volume is ridiculous. You're trading 100 million shares every day. I'm like, okay, cool. MACD is like bleeding up. I mean, look, everything is, if you're long these things, be careful. Either sell cover calls or buy some puts, because like I said, the other side of the mountain is not going to be funny on these. We looked at SPY. We looked at pretty much everything we need to look at, right? Is there anything else? No. UPRO, I have the UPRO puts. Yeah, we're good. And SBAT, 1792. I mean, now we have MNAV above 1 now. I did this at 0.87, 0.88. Now I'll enjoy myself with this one. So anyway, Solana, SOLF is the 2x, no, SOLT is the 2x ETF of Solana. What do I want to do with this? I think Solana will bottom somewhere around here. So that means about 24. Today's low. I didn't see it down to 24, but right about 24 and a half, 24. I want to do this trade. When Solana was at 250 a week ago, not even, this thing was at over 35. Now we're at 25. Got the healthy correction. Okay, justified, because Solana sold off 25%. Okay, cool. So what do I want to do with this? I don't want to go to January for sure. I don't want to do October. I want to go to November. Let's see what the Novembers are at. I want to sell the November 25 puts. November 25 puts. Define downside risk, folks. Nobody knows where these things are going to go. Buy the 22 puts. So that's a put credit spread. So I can do that at 195 credit. Then I want to go buy the 25 calls. Going out to November now. And I want to sell the 35 calls. 55-cent debit. I like it. And how equity efficient is this? Yeah, $1,780, which is about $300 a pop. No, about $350 a pop. But I'm doing it with debit. I don't like doing these with debit. So I need to be able to squeeze credit out of this. Now, I can squeeze credit out of this if I go to, where do I go to squeeze credit? I can go 25.21 as opposed to 25.22. 25. Yeah, we change these to 21. Then it'll be a credit for sure. Yeah, still debit, still nickel debit. But then the spreads are pretty wide. Okay. Yeah, I will pay attention to this today. I'll put some positions on. I want to put in a position on this. I want to do short 25s. That's stock is 24.75. Yeah, actually, let's put an order in case. Short 25s, in case we get a whoosh down. Short 25s. Long 22s. Long 25s. Yeah, the spread is 30 cents. It's really tough, really tough. And short 35s, which is the old high. Going out to November. 60-cent debit. Yeah. I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay out of pocket to play. Well, let's start there. And then if it goes to 0, then we'll add. They won't even do it at 60 cents probably. $1,808. Okay. Yeah, we did that. Okay. So we put on 5. Let's do the same thing at 50 cents. We're selling the put. Buy the put. Buy the call. You know what? Let me try to leg into this thing. So I did it at 60 cents. Let's try to leg into this thing. 650. Let's see if we can sell the puts at 660. Nope, didn't happen. Did not happen. All right, let's do it again. Let's do it combined. We can do the puts at 650 probably. And then buy the puts at 470. So it's not going to work. Yeah. Buy the calls at 650. So we can do the put credit spread 650, 460, let's say. Maybe 46, 47. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's going higher, folks. Well, 60-cent debit. Let's see if we can do more at 60-cent debit. Sell the put, buy the put, buy the call, sell the call. 65-cent debit. No, I'm not going. Well, is it worth missing a trade if this thing is going to go back to 35 for a nickel? Let's not negotiate. Let's put another 5 at 65. And then we'll wait. If we pull back, we'll do more at closer to at the money. I don't like doing these at debit. I really don't. 65 is not getting done now. He's moved 10 cents. He won't even do 65. We'll do it at some point. All right, so we added another position. What is happening to MSTR? It is selling off, folks. Why is that? Let's see. It is selling off. I wonder why. Is there any news on it? I'm not married to MSTR. I'm married to MSTU. Damn, solid sell-off. Look at this thing. And with BTC not selling off. Michael Saylor must be doing ATMs. That's the problem with these, man. Any news on MSTR? Bitmine 1.1 is going to on BMNR. Where is BMNR? BMNR down 84 cents. Okay. Huh. I don't know. He's definitely doing, he's probably doing sales. So this is, by the way, so let's go back to the charts real quick. SOLT. We have an order. At 65 cents. Actually, let's lower that. I don't want to pay more than 60 cents. So we did it at 60. Let's go to 50 cents. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that. If we correct to 24, again, I'll do these at 50 cents, 50 cents. But let's add to it at 40 cents. Who's doing this, by the way? I don't know. You guys are watching me trade. Yeah, we'll put on 15 for now, and then we'll add later. Yeah, that's where we are, folks. We'll see where Rigetti ends up. SBAT 1780, that's fine. 3308. Oh, this is the one. Okay, this is Solana. Semler. This is the daily on Semler. It is trading. There's definitely arbitrage going on here. And this is ASST. This is the buyer. So they're going to give 21 ASST shares for each Semler Scientific shares. So the pipe was done about $1.50, I think. And then it went to 13. Now, if this thing goes to 13, of course not. But this is like they bought Semler because of their BTC, by the way, 5100 BTC. They already had BTC. So they have about 12,000 BTC now. This thing was like 50 cents. So they did the pipe about $1.50. Now the pipe shareholders are bleeding. I don't know when the lockup expiration is, because then the pipe shareholders have about 100% profit at the moment. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Now, if BTC goes to 200,000, then we have no problems, or 150,000, or basically Semler is moving with ASST. Well, it's at 306. 306 times 21 is 65. Stock is 33. It's half price. So potentially you can still do the arbitrage. You can buy Semler and sell. You have to figure out it's 21, by the way, 21 shares. You have the ratio has to be correct. You have to, you can do that. And you know, and make that $30 or $33. But I don't know. That's the arbitrage. That's what's happening for sure. So if this thing goes to 10 times 21, $210, similar is 33. I know you guys are going to say you're smoking crack, but no, you have to do the math. Math is pretty simple in these. So this is getting priced at $1.50 basically for similar to be at 33, period. Because if by the close, this thing is at 3 times 21, similar is going to be 66, period. No ifs, no buts, or higher. If it's at 2 times 21, 42, similar is going to be 42 because you're getting 21 shares. 21 ASST shares for each one of your similar shares, period. So 42 from here is another 10 points. That's another 30%. Even if ASST goes down to 2 from 306. So, yeah, there's an interesting position. I'm not in the stock. I'm in the options, but I will definitely exercise my long calls. But it's going to be very interesting how this game ends. It'll end at some point, but I don't know when the closing date is, though. So we put the Solanas on. We put it at 60. We're going to have 50-40. I like that position. I'm just going with a trade on Solana, going from, let's say, 210 to maybe 230, or maybe retest the high at 250. Then this thing will be 35. That's why, okay, again, folks, again and again and again, define risk downside. I'm short the put credit spreads, meaning I'm long the 60, I'm long the 25 puts. I'm short the 25 puts, long the 22 puts. My max loss is $3, period. Okay. Now, how much money did I take in? Okay. I sold the puts on average. It looks like $655, and I bought the puts at $465. So about $2, let's say. So out of the 3, 2 was the credit where I turned around and bought the calls with, call debit spread with. Okay. So my max loss is 3. I took in already 2. So from the opening position, I can only lose an extra $1, but I have $10 upside. You guys figure it out yet? These are the types of trades that you guys need to learn how to put on, because that's the only way to survive these markets with defined downside risk trades. That's all I can say. So I'll go to the front. If you guys have any questions, post it. But yeah, that's the ASST and similar trade. All right. Okay. Good morning. BBAI, yeah, Nancy Pelosi bought it. What do you think about opening call credit spreads on nosebleeds, Oakland? Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm shorting the stock, so I wouldn't be against it. You mean shorting call credit spreads? Yeah, limited upside, and you'll squeeze some money out of it. Do short term though. Their short term ones are, I mean, I'll price it for you if you want, but it's ridiculous. Rigetti, let's say 33.68. The last short didn't go through. It's okay. So, okay, options this Friday. Call credit spreads. It's ridiculous what's going on. I mean, seriously, bonkers. Look at the volume on these calls, man. People are just YOLOing into these things. Friday expiration 36s are $1. They're 200 IV. They're trading 2x, 3x of the open interest because he's YOLOers. Wow. All right, so let's price something. Stock is 33.60. Let's short the 35s. I may even do it myself. Short the 35s. Short the 35s and I don't know, 37s. Buy the 37s. 60-cent credit. So you have 2 max loss, 60-cent credit. You can pick up 60 cents, and how efficient is that? Yeah, $700 for 5 lots. It's basically you're taking in $300 for you're putting up $700. It's literally like 50% almost. You can do it. I think it's a good trade. And your max loss is $1.40. You're going to lose $600 max because you're taking in 60 cents. It's up 64 cents now, actually. So yeah, I don't mind. Same thing with Okla, I'm sure. But you got to pick your strikes. But do the short-term ones. There's so much more money there as opposed to long-term ones. Weeklies are pretty good. Actually, I may do that myself, to be honest with you. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good to me. BBAI, oh, sorry. Let's take a look at that. And I got to go. It had a nice move yesterday. A breakout, I think. Not barbecue. BBAI. Looks good. I mean, retesting the high. A little bit of profit taking is expected. Pullbacks, you could buy it. And, your risk is, I don't know, 50% correction possible. Oh, let's see where open is today. The meme stock of 2025, open door. 811. Oh, boy. A pullback exactly to the middle of Bollinger Band at touch under 7. The YOLOers on this are just incredible. Every other comment is, my whole worth is in this. I'm up $10 million. I'm like, okay, cool. I hope you don't give it back. It's another company. Not a pot to piss in, honestly. Because the CEO is going to have to move the stock to 33 for him to get paid. Supposedly he's not getting paid. Everybody thinks it's going to 33, but there are some people who think they're going to 82 because the CEO's comp package is according to the shares. Man, I don't know. I don't know how these people come up with it, but they have the balls to put all their money into one stock, and in a stock that has no revenue, has a little bit of a revenue, been losing money forever, was 50 cents about a month and a half, 2 ago, and now hit 10, 11 almost. And they're YOLOing here. I don't know. I can't do it. If you guys can do it, my hat's off to you. All power to you, man. I cannot do it. I like trading these. I like to be involved, but I can't make myself do or buy a stock that's 50 cents at $10. I just can't. I was in it at 230. I had a covered strangle with 10,000 shares. I got called away, unfortunately. What else is there to say? Anyway, I'll post these positions. And then in the community page about 2 o'clock or maybe earlier. And I'll see the members at Members Only Live at 4:30 p.m. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's good information. I don't hide anything. I got nothing to prove. I think I'm a good trader. I think my calls have been pretty good. And my account's up. I'm pretty close to up 65% for the year. I'm shooting for 100%. I'm pretty sure I'll get there. If any of the positions that I have on works out even halfway, I'll be there. Thank you, Vic. I am decent. So 100% is the goal. Last year was 120. This year is tough, man. It's just tough. The volatility, the tweeting, the tariffs, the musical chairs, the Fed, and it's just tough. I'm just trying to not to get my face ripped by being on the wrong side. That's all. But I'm not known to risk. I'm known to risk manage well. All right. Vamos Barca. Barca always number one. FYI, I'm a Bills fan now because my partner on the other channel is in Buffalo. I even bought myself a $150 Buffalo Bills football jersey. I'm not even sure. I don't follow the egg-shaped one. I follow the round one, the football, the real football. But now I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. We're 3-0. I'm even watching games. It's just boring as shit because a 60-minute game goes on for 4 hours. I'm going to be so fat at the end of this football season because it gives me so much time to drink, eat chips, eat dogs, eat this, drink more beer, drink more this. I'm going to be fat as hell. I'm already fat. So Buffalo Bills are going to cost me 20 pounds probably. I don't know why a 60-minute game goes on for 4 hours, honestly. Like the other football, we play 90 minutes, 45-minute halves. There's no timeouts. There's none of that. We just play. Done. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like watching live, because you know what happens, Doug? You just somehow internet sends you the score because you Googled Buffalo Bills before, and then they'll send you the news. Oh, Buffalo Bills won. Buffalo Bills lost. That's the problem with the internet. I get it. I get it because of commercials. I get it. But it's just not much is going on. I mean, I get it. I get the idea. That's the same thing with basketball, right? 48-minute game lasts 3 hours. I don't have the patience for that. I really don't. In football, out 90 minutes, no timeouts, only 3 substitutions, halftime 15 minutes, 2 hours, we're done. We're out of here. You win, you lose, you tie, whatever. Now, most Americans don't like it because there's ties in football, the real football. Because they go like, what is that? We play for 2 hours and we tie. I'm like, yeah, tie is important. Some of the best games I've seen, quality-wise, have been ties. But then, that's why football, the round ball football, has not been popular in the U.S. because TV money is not there. Because we can't extend an hour-and-a-half game to 4 hours for the TV money to come in for commercials. In football, every whistle, there's this like something's going on. The whole thing is set up for marketing and commercials and stuff. I mean, great athletes, don't get me wrong, amazing. I like the game. It's a perfect team game. Everybody has to do their job for something to happen. The big guys, the quarterback, this and that. I get it. I get the game. But it's just, like I said, I'm going to be fat. I'm going to be fat by the end of the year because I'm going to have like 6-pack of beer every time I watch the Bills. I don't know. But anyway, so my hat's off to the Bills, 3-0. Let's go for 4-0 this weekend. I will be wearing my jersey in front of my TV. What else? That's it. Those are the positions. We're putting on more positions. It seems like I'm adding some positions, and hopefully we'll milk it as much as we can. Yeah, they used to put it in a small screen and put it. It doesn't work. It's not soccer, it's football. Football is not made for commercials, man. We crack bones, we run for 90 minutes, and then we go home. All right, I got to run. See you guys Friday, Power Hour. Positions will be posted. Go check out the positions on Monday, and then Friday, and then Wednesday. So you guys can compare, like, what is this guy doing, right? And then I'll post them again on Friday. So adios. You guys make some money today. I think I'm green today. So make some money, folks.